Hello, welcome to Orbis. My name is Jill Urich, and I serve as the director of Orbis.
I'm Chad Brooks, one of the project mentors here at the Orbis program.
And I'm Joel Fox, one of the other project mentors with the Orbis program.
We're here today to provide an overview of Orbis for you and to share with you next steps, things you need to know as you join our Orbis family. So I'm going to take us to our PowerPoint. So the first thing I'll share with you is we are recording this presentation and we will push this out to all of you via email. We're also plan on posting it on our website, so it's available at any time in the event that you would have questions specific to what our program looks like and what students walk away with at the end of the program. So you've met three of us. Chad, Joel, and myself. And then we also have Stephanie Vidito, who serves as our assistant in Orbis, and she is at the front desk when you and our student innovators walk in every day. In addition to providing this overview, we also want to equip you with the information you need prior to the first day of the semester. And we also want to provide you with the process for asking questions. By getting to know us, getting our contact information, we want to make sure we do anything we can to work with you so that you have a successful experience in Orbis. This is our mission in Ankeny schools. This is why we get up every day. And as you can see, we are committed to every learner being prepared to achieve a lifetime of personal success. What does that look like in Orbis? For us, we are really committed to helping every student graduate with an informed plan A. So really, what are their passions, their interests? What do they look forward to doing for the rest of their life? And we want to provide a space for them to learn more about themselves and what makes them tick so that they can be successful after high school. Our Orbis guarantee is that we will bridge what students have been learning in the classroom to the community. We want to give them a space where they can authentically apply everything that they've been learning in the classroom, but apply that now in a real world setting. Orbis students, you are now called innovators. We refer to you as Orbis innovators, and you are treated like a young professional. And again, as I know I stated this a moment ago, but we are really committed to helping every one of you graduate with your Plan A. The next couple of slides show, they just highlight some skills that you're going to walk away with strengthening in Orbis. So this list of top skills needed in 2020 was the result of a research study done by the World Economic Forum and really honing in on skills that are needed for the job market. And as you look down that list, a couple of the newer skills that have just emerged over the last couple of years is that emotional intelligence and cognitive flexibility. All of those skills you see on that list, the students are going to be experiencing in their Orbis experiences. This is a resource that has been printed in recent years, and it speaks to the idea that when students leave home after high school, there is a level of stress that they experience that's just different because for the first time, they are more independent in nature, they're away from home, they're navigating what it means to really be on your own. And the book really talks about these 5 components and how the more we can focus on strengthening skills in our students, in our high school students in these areas, the more successful they will be after high school. In Orbis, our students learn and strengthen their self-management skills, how they manage time and projects. They strengthen their interpersonal skills, how they get along with other people and how to collaborate for success. They learn about grit, not giving up, and just really being resilient through challenging times. They learn a lot about self-acceptance and accepting the gifts that you do have and how you can utilize those gifts to contribute to the betterment of the community and those around you. They also learn about just keeping an open mindset and knowing when to seek help, when knowing we can't do everything on our own and we need people around us, and when do I need to lean on the strengths of other people. We are excited that our initial data that we've been collecting in our evaluation of Orbis is showing that it is helping our students experience success. We have alumni survey data that we have collected from students that were in Orbis when they were in high school. We also have our Orbis students take a pre and a post profile, one at the beginning of their Orbis experience and another at the end, to dive into how they've changed through their Orbis experience. We also conduct exit interviews with our Orbis students as they're leaving their Orbis experience. These are just a few of the highlights out of all the data that we've been collecting. Of those highlights, here's what we're learning about our Orbis experience with students. Our students change in their empathy and their role awareness. Their Orbis experience lifts the lid, so to speak, and they really do learn a lot more about themselves. They learn a lot more about the workforce and what's needed in the job market, and they just become more competitive that way because they're graduating with an entirely different skill set that rounds out their high school experience. Because again, they're able to take everything they've learned in the classroom and apply that in a real world setting. Another a component that's emerged in our data is the personalized experience that each of our students has in Orbis. And you're going to hear more about that in the coming slides. What is Orbis? Orbis is the Latin term for compass. And I'm always excited to share the logo itself, and the name of Orbis actually emerged from students when we first launched Orbis. So everything we do in Orbis has student voice all over it. Orbis is a personalized project-based learning for students, and we have what we call the big three. The big three are these skills that we really hone in on with our students. They will strengthen their skills as collaborators, as problem solvers, and as leaders. What makes Orbis unique? So as you think about your Orbis experience and compare that to your other educational experiences, what makes Orbis unique is that we collaborate with the workforce and peers from multiple schools. So students in Orbis won't just be from your home high school. You will be with students from area high schools. So you will collaborate with them. You'll collaborate with many people in the workforce. You get to co-design your learning. You are an active voice in what your Orbis experience is going to look like and what you want to learn about. You'll engage in authentic project work. There is nothing in Orbis that is a made up project that your quote unquote teachers are going to assign you. Your teachers are called project mentors, and that's exactly what they do. They mentor you, they coach you on projects that are real, that are going to make an impact on your community in some way. And also unique to Orbis, you are empowered as a young professional. When you walk in, you're a young adult, you're a young professional, and that's exactly how we're going to treat you. My slide is stuck, so just give me a moment. It's always exciting to highlight recognition that we've received in Orbis. Orbis was initially recognized as a STEM Best program through the Governor's STEM Best Council. And this occurred a few years ago when we launched Orbis. And since then, Orbis has also been recognized with the Prairie Meadows Community Betterment Grant, We have earned the Public-Private Partnership Award by the Ankeny Economic Development Corporation, and then earned a Governor's STEM expansion grant. I will tell you, none of this would be possible without all of our Orbis partners, all of our project providers, business partners, community members who have wrapped around Orbis and truly made it a partnership with the school district. For more information about Orbis, you can locate us on the Ankeny Schools website. We try to keep that updated with important need-to-know information. You can also follow us on social media. We have a Twitter account and a Facebook account, and we're always excited to share our story and highlight all the great things that our innovators are doing in Orbis. At this time, I'm going to pass the microphone to Chad Brooks, one of our project mentors.
Thank you, Jill. All right, my objective in the next couple slides here is to kind of give you a glimpse into the day-to-day life of an innovator. Kind of zoom into, not our classroom, we don't really have a classroom, but zoom into our collaboration space and see what it's like. Innovators, parents, take a second to think about a typical class of yours when you were in high school. What was it like? What did you experience as a student? A typical classroom is probably more teacher-centered in nature. So if you look at that graphic on the left-hand side there, the teacher has this knowledge and this experience that they need to impart to you in some way. And it tends to be more one-way in nature where the students are maybe a little more passive in their learning. That's not the model that we utilize here in Orbis. We use a student-centered learning approach. Look at the graphic on the right there. You see students working collaboratively in this two-way dialogue. There's shared knowledge amongst all of us in this space. There's shared experiences, and we can all learn from one another. So Joel and I have some knowledge and expertise in the process of how to manage a project and how to creatively problem solve. But the students bring a lot of unique knowledge and experiences that we don't have. We're not experts in all that students do. So we're going to co-learn here in this student-centered environment. And Jill mentioned students personalize their experience. That's one of the major unique attributes of our Orbis time. So a lot of collaboration and communication going on there. Next slide. And one more thing I want you to know is the benefits of project-based learning. Jill mentioned that we do authentic projects here. The projects are the vehicle by which students learn how to be better collaborative problem solvers and leaders. Projects tend to increase student motivation because they know it's authentic. It matters. It's going to change the community. So looking at that wheel there, those are the key elements to project-based learning. At the top, we start with some challenging problem or some driving question that students have voice and choice in selecting. So it's motivation because they've got some buy-in. They know it's authentic and it matters. They're going to reflect throughout the process to improve their skills, to improve their team's process, and improve the product that they're working on. And the product, whatever they create, is not to be submitted to us project mentors or teachers. They're doing it for the community. So it really is a public product. So when your solution is going to go out to a business or a nonprofit, there's just this higher level of intentionality and motivation in the work that they do. So a lot of collaboration and a lot of student voice as to how they manage their time and how they run their project. And now I'll pass it off to Joel.
All right, thank you, Chad. What you'll see on your screen here is an example of some of the projects that we have worked on in the past. And as Jill mentioned, these projects are all authentic in nature, where innovators are able to engage in their learning with the workforce. And as Chad mentioned, we are not the experts. And if you look at even just the first couple bullet points on here, you will see that those projects, those how might we questions, are way from what our expertise is. And so we're able to pair students with workforce experts and people within different industries with different backgrounds that can mentor and coach those students as well. So these how might we questions just give you a glimpse of the broad nature of the projects for which our students can participate in. Over the past few years, we've developed a very extensive contact list. We have better than 200 partners who have either worked with us in some capacity, and that list is always growing. And so really, this class is continually evolving. The types of projects which we're working on continually grow and change based on what our students need. So if you look at the next slide, what you'll see here are some sample of organizations that are involved. On the left is project providers, and those would be organizations which provide projects that our students can work on. Those would be inbound projects, ones in which these companies or organizations come and say, we have a problem or we have a project in which we would like your students to engage in. We do also have outbound projects in which a student has a particular passion in an area of interest, and we're able to work with that student and a partner organization to develop a project that is tailored to their individual needs. We also have tours and workforce experts. So if a student is interested in an organization and that organization is not quite ready to jump into project work with us, those students can engage in learning through either a workforce expert, or we can send them on tours where they can meet people within those industries and have an opportunity to learn what different jobs and possibilities are out there for them so that they can get to their plan A when they graduate from high school. So there's multiple ways for which the community can get involved. Parents, you might be watching this thinking, wow, that's really cool. I wish that I would have had that opportunity when I was in high school. And you still have an opportunity to be involved. It can be a project provider, or it can just be an expert. Our experts serve as workforce experts for project teams, where they're really mentoring and coaching those teams and helping them through their particular project. We also can have individuals or organizations come in and do one-on-one coaching. We also provide training and workshops. So if you have a particular area where you feel an expertise in goal setting and project management and marketing, whatever it might be, we do various workshops and trainings throughout the year just to enrich our students' learning even further. And also throughout the year, we have different providers come in and just provide feedback for the students. So as they work on a project, bringing somebody in who doesn't have a deep knowledge of the project they're working on to take a look at it from a different point of view and different perspective is something that is very valuable for our innovators throughout the year. And again, providing meeting space for Orbis. So as we continue to grow and fill our space, our students, one of the things that makes this authentic is if they have an opportunity to work in a unique environment, which can engage them in those professional skills in some capacity. And then there's providing tours, which we talked about. And we also have a lot of post-secondary involvement. So four-year colleges, universities, two-year colleges, schools, all those different opportunities for our community to get involved with our innovators. So because we are a class, there is standards and there is a grading component to what we do. And while we will always tell our innovators, the focus is always about the skills that you are learning. The project is the vehicle for which you gain those skills. Ultimately, we want you to leave here with the success skills of collaboration, problem solving, and leadership, because those are three timeless skills that any industry throughout the United States, all over the world, would tell you that those three skills are essential to be a good employee and to have a successful career. And so we have, Chad and I have developed in partnership with the Iowa Core Employability Standard, Universal Constructs, and in conversations with our workforce, we've developed subpoints underneath each of these three skills, which our students can work to improve on those throughout the semester.
And Joel, I'm just going to emphasize what you just said. It doesn't matter what career you are considering after high school or after college. These three skills are applicable everywhere and needed everywhere. So your Orbis experience will make you more marketable no matter what you're going into.
So with our grading, with the grading, our grading is an authentic assessment. So Chad and I collect data over time on our students. We provide coaching and one-on-one meetings. Excuse me. So as students work throughout the semester, we can work with them one-on-one. And if they say, I feel like I could be a better leader, we'll work with those innovators and the rubrics and talk about where they are currently at with their leadership and where they want to be, and coach them throughout the semester so that they can make those improvements. Because again, at the end of the semester, it's about making improvements in those 3 skills of collaboration, problem solving, and leadership.
So last year, we had some students, they wanted to engage in some learning on their own in a different program, and they also wanted to help us create a visual of what would a semester look like for someone who has never been in Orbis to know what it looks like. And here's what I would say. While every student in Orbis will have common experiences, no 2 students will have the exact Orbis experience from the first day to the last day. It is a very personalized thing. There's common learning that Joel and Chad are going to talk about, but then we really do partner with you to determine what you want to learn more about or what project work interests you, so that you will have an experience that's unique to your own interests. Oh, I'm sorry, Chad, I think you wanted to say something more about that.
Thank you. So if you look at that roadmap there to success, it starts off with some onboarding phase, that part in red there, and then it gets into the project work and rest of the semester. But that onboarding phase is so critical. It's where students are equipped with the skills necessary to be successful in the rest of their Orbis experience and really far beyond their time with us here in Orbis. So that onboarding phase is critical. We treat students as young professionals from the moment they come in the door. Our goal is to develop that culture of we're in this together, we're better together. It's okay to fail and try something and then adjust and adapt. So we develop a lot of culture in those first few weeks during the onboarding phase. We also try to equip our students with creative problem solving method that's human-centered called design thinking. So we're going to teach them different phases of that process. We're going to teach them different techniques they can apply to solve problems for their project providers. We also teach them how to manage a project. It's abstract in nature. Maybe their end goal is shifting and changing over time. They've got to be able to adapt as needed. While they're learning those things, they're also applying that learning immediately in a short-term project or short-term projects. Application is critical to improve skills with certain techniques. We also want them to know themselves better and know how they interact with others and collaborate with others better. So we use profiles and interest surveys to help us with that as well. So that's all the first couple of weeks. By that point, they're equipped and ready to go. At that point, they start to look at our project list and choose one of those inbound projects that Joel referenced, or generate their own outbound projects based on passions they have and problems they see in the community. But it's not just project work the rest of the time. There's still workshops and training. There's more learning that needs to be done. So that's sprinkled throughout and engaging them with the community in the form of tours or working with workforce experts. There's continuous learning throughout while they're doing their projects.
One thing I'll add to this is students, I think we've said this before, but if not, students can take Orbis for multiple semesters. And one of the things that we are working on currently is students will have the option of earning a lead innovator certificate by repeating semesters and meeting certain criteria. So there's a lot of options for students to really expand and really lift the lid, so to speak, in their own learning experiences.
So next we'll talk about how we communicate, and much of this you've maybe already seen. Obviously, the easiest communication channel is through your student, but also website, Twitter, and Facebook, which Jill mentioned earlier. We do send a quarterly electronic newsletter to your email inbox, and as always, email and phone. So please feel free, if you have any questions about anything, email Chad or Jill or myself, or give us a call, and we will be happy to talk with you if you have any other additional questions. And then, as always, Infinite Campus is a great tool for communication, but please understand, since our grades are off of those skills of collaboration, problem solving, and leadership, our Infinite Campus looks very different than what the traditional high school grade book on Infinite Campus looks like. Right? So you may be wondering about transportation and how do I get to and from Orbis and what does that look like? One of the things that we want to ensure is that transportation is not a barrier, and we don't make you late to your other classes. So your travel time occurs during your Orbis block. So that means that you either leave Orbis a little bit early or get to Orbis a little bit late. So in no way should you ever miss time from your class periods at your home high schools. So if you're a block at the beginning of the day, the start time is still the start time of your regular class period. At the end of the day, we do release students a little bit early so that they can get to their home high schools in case they have a practice or club or activity for which they need to be there at the normal release time. So please just understand, innovators, you are treated as a young professional. You're responsible for communicating with us proactively. So if you do have a transportation need or something that comes up that is a unique situation, please just communicate with us, and we will work together with you to make sure that you can get to and from Orbis as safely as possible.
So transportation options, you do have options for getting to Orbis. So on a day-to-day basis, you are going to be leaving your home high school, and most of your Orbis experience will take place at our Orbis collaboration space. And you'll also be out in the community. You'll be meeting with project providers, you'll be at different businesses. So the bottom line is you'll be leaving your home high school, and you can certainly provide your own transportation here. We do have parking available in front of our entrance here at Orbis. There's also, for students enrolled in Ankeny schools, there is a shuttle that is available that will come and pick you up at your home high school and bring you to Orbis for your Orbis experience, and then it will take you back to your home high school at the end of Orbis each day. So if you do need transportation, when you fill out your enrollment form, you're going to indicate that to us that you need transportation, and we'll make sure we get that shuttle set up for you. And then finally, I would just want to offer, if you're listening to this and you think, oh, I really don't feel comfortable leaving my high school during the day, I want to be there all day, or parents, if you're thinking I'm not comfortable with my student leaving the high school, then please let your school counselor know as soon as possible so we can so that you can work together on changing your schedule and finding another class for you instead of Orbis. Otherwise, we'll expect to see you at your Orbis experiences on a day-to-day basis.
All right, so what does your first day of school look like? There's the excitement of day one, maybe the nervousness. We want to take away some of that anxiety you might be feeling. On your schedule, whenever you have Orbis, let's say you have Orbis 5th and 6th period. After your 4th period class is done, you would leave campus and drive over here to Orbis. Again, your transportation time is built into our time, so don't stress about the time you get here, but report here to Orbis. When you come to our parking lot, please enter from 9th Street, which is on the south side of our building. We've been asked not to use the entrance from Ankeny Boulevard or coming down from 18th Street because of other conflicting traffic. So please enter from 9th Street, come and park directly in front of Orbis. You'll see the big Orbis sign in the front of our building and enter there. Once the semester gets rolling, you'll each be issued a fob to access our space. We treat you like young adults, young professionals, as we've talked about. So get your own fob checked out to you. There's a fob access point right out there, and scan yourself right in. That'll be given to you in the first couple of days of your Orbis experience. On day one, please bring your cell phone and a Chromebook. We're going to get you signed up for the technology services we're going to use right away so we can communicate, because communication doesn't just happen when you're here at Orbis. Communication can happen at any time. So we want to get you equipped right away. Supplies for the semester, we use a lot of whiteboards and Post-it notes. So please make sure you purchase a pack of dry erase markers and some Post-it notes. The square 3x3 ones will be beneficial for you. And also you want a design notebook or a composition notebook to do your work in for Orbis. So those will be your 3 supplies that we'd like you to get for your time here. If you're unable to purchase those, please let us know. We'd be happy to provide for you as needed.
Next step. So for students who are enrolled either at Ankeny High School or Ankeny Centennial High School, There is an enrollment form specific for you to fill out. And then for students that are coming from our area high schools, we have a specific enrollment form for you. So we're going to ask that you fill those out as soon as possible because we want to get to know you. You'll notice there's questions on there for us just to get to know your interests, maybe what you're seeking to get out of your Orbis experience. And then a couple other important questions we have on there. So for those of you that are in Ankeny schools, we're going to want to know any transportation implications. So how do you plan to get to and from Orbis? And then if you need that shuttle, because we'll make sure we have that set up ready for you if you do need the shuttle provided. And then for those of you coming from outside of Ankeny schools, one of those specific questions is if you need a Chromebook provided for you. We know some districts, students come with their own devices, but for others, we provide those for you if you don't have one of your own. So again, we're going to ask that you fill those out as soon as possible so we can get to know you before you walk in on the first day. Contact information. If you have any questions about anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. We are in this together. We want to partner with you so that you have the best Orbis experience ever. And you can email us or call us at any time, and we're happy to be available for you. The final thoughts and reflections. So we have just 2 questions we want to ask you. So for our student innovators, what excites you about participating in Orbis? We're always excited to get this information at the end of orientation. Parents and guardians, what excites you about this opportunity for your child? And then for both of you, is there anything else that you want us to know at this time? So we have included 2 Google Forms for you, and those are also linked on your orientation document that we shared. So if you can just take a moment and take that survey, that would be great. And with that, we would like to thank you for spending this time with us, and we look forward to having you in Orbis. Thank you very much.